Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the recent wave of urgent legal and financial fraud alerts coming out of Largo. If you live, work, or manage your finances anywhere in the area, you'll definitely want to stick around for this one. We aren't just going to sit here and read off a boring list of warnings. No way. We're going to figure out exactly how these bad actors are operating behind the scenes so we can outsmart them.
But before we actually break down the specific threats Largo authorities have flagged, we really have to ask ourselves a crucial question. How do these scammers actually reach you? Because honestly, understanding the how is the very first step in neutralizing the what. Are they in your phone? Are they digging through your physical mailbox? Well, the reality is, the modern scammer is entirely multi-channel. They're constantly looking for that exact moment your guard is down, just trying to catch you off balance in the places you interact with most every single day. All right, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with an overview of the Largo scam alerts, move into court and justice scams, then look at financial and property frauds, and we'll wrap the whole thing up with traffic and payment traps. Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, Largo Scam Alerts Overview. Let's get a high-level view of exactly what we're dealing with here. Now, what's absolutely fascinating here is the sheer variety of targets and attack mediums these fraudsters are using. You've got your traffic citations, court appearances, the IRS, and even property deeds all being targeted. But the real kicker is the attack mediums they're using to get to you. Text messages, emails, phone calls, physical letters, and fraudulent websites. These scammers aren't just relying on one tired old trick. They're utilizing a complex matrix of deception. It's honestly a bit exhausting, right? If you finally train yourself to ignore those weird, spammy text messages, well, they just pivot to sending you a highly official-looking letter in the mail instead. They are perfectly matching the medium to the message just to make the scam feel as absolutely legitimate as possible. And when you look at the breakdown of these scams, you'll see three major fronts of attack. The threat environment is incredibly balanced, which is kind of scary. We're seeing three specific scams targeting the courts, three targeting broad finances and property, and two heavily focused on traffic and quick impulsive payments. This tells us a lot. It tells us there isn't just one type of scammer operating in Largo right now. We're dealing with a highly diversified, active ecosystem of fraud.
Moving right along to Section 2, Court and Justice Scams. This is all about how they are weaponizing the system against you. Scammers are directly weaponizing the justice system using three specific tactics explicitly named in the Largo alerts: the subpoena scam, the missed jury service scam, and the court appearance email scam. Just hearing those words out loud, subpoena, missed jury service, court appearance, it provokes a gut reaction, doesn't it? Nobody wants to be on the wrong side of the law. A fake subpoena suddenly landing in your inbox or a message claiming you are in contempt of court for missing jury duty, that immediately spikes your adrenaline. And let me tell you, that is exactly what the fraudsters are banking on. So the crucial point here is that whether it's a fake subpoena or a bogus court email, the scammers are relying 100% on inducing sheer panic to bypass your logical defenses. This is what we call weaponized fear. Think about it. When you're terrified that a sheriff's deputy is on their way to arrest you for missing jury duty, you aren't exactly stopping to look closely at the sender's email address, are you? You aren't questioning why a legitimate court would suddenly demand payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. The fear creates urgency, and urgency is literally the enemy of critical thinking. If you receive anything at all demanding immediate action under the threat of arrest, you've got to pause, take a breath, and independently verify it with the actual Largo court system. All right, let's pivot to Section 3, Financial and Property Frauds. This one is entirely about exploiting confusion. With the legal threats mapped out, we see the attack vector shift toward financial vulnerabilities and bureaucratic confusion. The alerts highlight phony IRS calls, fake bond refunds, and incredibly deceptive property deed letters. The IRS call is a total classic, right? An aggressive voice on the other end claiming you owe thousands in back taxes. But the bond refund scam? That one is particularly insidious because it dangles the prospect of a payout. They'll say, hey, you are owed money. Just pay this tiny little processing fee to get it. And then there's the property deed letter scam, which targets homeowners directly. They actually use publicly available real estate records to send incredibly convincing documents in the mail. They demand payment for a copy of a deed you either already have sitting in a filing cabinet at home or one that you could easily get for just a few bucks directly from the county. It's ridiculous when you think about it, literally paying a scammer exorbitant fees for a piece of paper you already own. Look at the contrast here between the physical and digital attacks. It really shows that scammers aren't just hiding behind keyboards and websites anymore. They're physically showing up in your actual mailbox. In the physical realm, we have the property deed letter. This piece of paper has physical weights. It arrived via the U.S. Postal Service. It might even have an official-looking gold seal on it. And because of that, our brains automatically assign it a much higher level of trust. But then, over in the digital realm, we have the fraudulent websites and text messages. These are incredibly cheap to produce, infinitely scalable, and lightning fast. You have to be equally guarded against that official-looking letter waiting in your mailbox as you are against the random notification popping up on your phone screen.
And finally, Section 4, Traffic and Payment Traps. These are the highly digital, quick-hit scams. The Largo alerts specifically double down on a huge spike in traffic citation scams. We're seeing the traffic citation text scam, general traffic citation scams, and the critical mechanism making them all actually work, the fraudulent payment website. Think about it for a second. Getting a traffic ticket is just the most frustrating thing, and most of us just want to pay the fine immediately so it goes away. Maybe even get it paid before our spouse finds out about it, right? Well, fraudsters know human nature. They send out mass texts claiming you were caught on a red light camera or a speed trap, just hoping to catch someone who happens to have driven through Largo recently and is already feeling slightly paranoid about their driving. Let's walk through exactly how this fast-paced trap springs shut. It's essentially a 3-step funnel designed for pure speed. Step 1, you receive the text. It's super short, it's alarming, and it always has a link. Urgent, unpaid Largo traffic citation. Pay now to avoid immediate license suspension. Step 2, you panic, and you click the link. This routes you instantly to their fraudulent payment website. And this site, it might look perfectly identical to an official county payment portal, complete with stolen logos and official colors. Step 3, you enter your credit card information to pay the fake fine, and boom, the theft is completed. And the worst part? They don't just have your money for the fake ticket, they now have your actual live credit card details to go use somewhere else. The entire process takes less than 60 seconds. When you step back and look at all these alerts together, from the courts to the IRS to the traffic lights, the absolute biggest takeaway is this: vigilance across all mediums is required. You absolutely cannot assume that simply having a good spam filter on your email is enough to keep you safe anymore. You must remain highly skeptical, whether you are answering a phone call from an unknown number, checking your digital inbox for a court notice, or opening a seemingly official stamped physical letter about your own property. The fraud ecosystem in Largo is incredibly diverse, well-funded, and highly motivated to trick you. So now that you've got the playbook and know exactly how these scammers are operating across texts, calls, and even your physical mailbox, the ball is in your court. Which alert are you going to spot first? Keep your eyes open, stay skeptical, and stay safe out there.